You're watching Casually Baked, the podcast, home base for the canna curious. Thanks for tuning in.
It's high time. We had a high time together.
Settle in. It's time to get casually baked. Hi, y'all. I'm Jo, your host and cannabis lifestyle guide. And I don't know about you, but I am starting to pack for the holidays. And I had to stop and take a break because it was time for me to share some love with you. So I'm getting this party started with some sherbet from my friends at Island Mountain Organics in Humboldt County. Thank you so much, Chris. This is beautiful and tasty, and I love it every time. And it's just, packing is the perfect moment to smoke this. So, taking a break from packing to let you know that it's time for me to wind things down for a couple of weeks and fly to Texas for the holidays. I'm going to have a healthy dose of friends and family while I'm there. But before I go, I want to give you a quick update on what's to come. So next week, I am going to recycle some content and give myself a break. But it is an earlier episode that I think you're really going to love if you haven't heard it yet. And I'm really just trying to get you geared up for the new year by shifting your focus inward. You know, I'm a modern day hippie, if you will. So I think, I do this around my birthday and I do it again around the new year. So just kind of refocusing, getting centered, and, we'll stretch this wellness theme into the new year. And the first week of 2019, we are going to be exploring cannabis-infused yoga. And I'm not talking about, smoking dope and laying around on a yoga mat. I'm talking actual yoga, power yoga, people that are highly athletic, consuming cannabis for wellness. So I really want to give you that perspective. And so we're going to be diving into that the first week of the year. I'm also really excited to announce a new collaboration with Casually Baked Media. We are going to be partnering with the co-founders of Garden Society in 2019. Garden Society, if you don't know them, they are a California cannabis company who offers chef-inspired low-dose edibles. So not only are you eating edibles, but they're like, pinky out edibles. So they have these jellies that remind me of sophisticated fruit roll-ups. They're so delicious. And then they have these lovely chocolates and they actually have these petite pre-rolls that they're doing in the new year too. So all really cool stuff. Hold please, and I'll tell you what the fuck I'm doing with them. So Aaron and Carly, the founders of Garden Society, they came to me a few months ago and they were interested in putting out a podcast. They have something to say and I am going to help them do that. So I'm deepening my roots in the cannabis culture niche in this podcasting world, and I will be producing the Garden Society podcast. And it will be a source of relatable content and business education for like-minded women looking to find ways to balance time, energy, family, friends, the whole gamut. So I'll introduce you to Aaron and Carly on an episode of the podcast early in the new year. And so if you are a girlfriend, a mom, a wife, a business owner, a bill payer, breadwinner, caretaker, peacemaker, and you feel like you are ending this year banged up and bruised, well, you'll be happy to know that this female-focused podcast is going to be focusing its first season on finding your joy, and it will begin airing in February. So stay tuned to learn more about that. And now, hold please for one more baby hit. The hits just keep on coming. So, for those of you who live in the Bay Area, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Mark your calendar for January the 17th. I want you to join me for Mary Jane's coming out party. I'm partnering with one of my educator friends. You met Tolly on an episode of the podcast when we were talking about seniors and cannabis. Well, she does a stint at Harvest on Geary on Thursdays as an educator, and we are collaborating. And I am basically going to do an episode of Love Mary Jane there, and it is all going to be based around a lively discussion on dating and relationships in the modern cannabis culture. And my friend Erin Beata, she is a Bay Area matchmaker and love coach. She will also be there and join in on the discussion. I will include a link to the Eventbrite to get tickets in the show notes at casuallybaked.com. All interested attendees will receive a complimentary matchmaking profile in Erin's network of conscious singles in the SF Bay Area, Los Angeles, and NYC. So, hell, if you're a listener on the East Coast, cash in on that too. We'll explore the benefits of cannabis in the bedroom and discover cannabis-infused products suited to set the mood and enhance your experience. So Tolly will lead that product sex education portion of the party, and you'll be able to shop on site. We'll be there to help you. We'll shop with you and make sure that you get the products that you want to try and feel comfortable asking all the questions. So be sure to bring your cannabis-infused relationship question or sticky situation for inclusion on the podcast. So anybody that gives me a great question or content, I'm going to give you some free Casually Baked swag. So maybe it's one of those handmade stash bags that were made by a local maker in San Francisco, or one of my punny tees that were designed by my friend Jillian Benary here in Oakland. Or maybe you just want the cannabis class educational information. If you bring me a juicy question to talk about on a future episode of the podcast, I'm going to give you one. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. And because I know that we're taking up your evening, we're also going to be serving some snacks and some mocktails. And the sponsors that come on board, they will also be having sampling opportunities. So it's going to be just a really fun beginning of the year social mixer. I think I'm properly baked. So that is, let me see, what else do I need to tell you about that? Oh, it is a cozy venue. It is a super badass, cool venue, Harvest on Geary, in their lounge, but it's only going to fit about 50 people. So if you're interested, if you're kind of curious, if you've heard all of the excitement around cannabis in the bedroom, but you've been nervous to ask questions, just come sit in the audience and listen. And you can ask me your questions and not have to say them out loud and not have to tell anybody your name. You can just slide them across the table on a Post-it, and I'll slide you a free stash bag. Seriously, I mean, if you have the question, I promise you there's hundreds of other people that have the same one. So before I venture out into the traffic of holiday travel, I want to leave you with this one thought that I have been going over and over in my head as I'm packing, trying to prepare myself. So, this is for me as much as it is for you. Whether we're stuck in traffic, or our flight is delayed, or there's a screaming baby in the seat behind us, we are having a shared experience on this planet. So, consider that. So, I don't know if I've ever told y'all this. I may have at some point early on. I'm allergic to cannabis. Um, so when I smoke on air, my nose starts running. So excuse the Kleenex for those of you watching the video. But I want you to consider that you are not the only one put out by whatever is happening. And in that moment, take an extra deep breath, think before you speak, and lean on our favorite plant to help you keep your cool this Christmas. And if you notice a friend or a family member who is white-knuckling it right alongside of you, be a good human and puff, puff, pass it on. All right. I love you guys. Thank you so much for your support in this year. I made a couple of best of podcast lists, so that's pretty exciting. And, momentum is picking up and there's a lot of fun stuff on the horizon. And I truly am grateful for the support that you've given me. And if you like this podcast and you want to help shift some minds and perspectives in your circle of trust, I hope that you will give me the gift of sharing Casually Baked the podcast with your friends or family members this holiday season.
We had a high time.